what is attachment parenting? So attachment parenting may or may not be a term that you're familiar with, but basically attachment parenting promotes a close relationship between parent and baby. And it does this through various methods. The term attachment parenting was coined by Dr Seers, and he talked about the 7 B's of attachment parenting. And these are the ways in which you can promote that close relationship with your baby. So I'll briefly go through what those 7 B's are, and it might become more clear about how they help to create that bond and that close relationship. So the first one is birth bonding. So that is about holding your baby as soon as your baby is born, putting them onto your belly and maybe having delayed cord clamping, but not necessarily, but skin to skin contact, breastfeeding as soon as possible, and just having that close contact with your baby straight after birth, rather than them going to somebody else or being weighed or being checked over. Them having that closeness with you as soon as they come into the world. So the second B is baby cues, and reading and responding to those baby cues. So your baby is constantly communicating with you, whether that is in cries or how they're holding their body or eye contact, or there's so many different ways that your baby can is speaking a language to you, and it's about tapping into those cues, into that language, into the way that your baby is communicating with you, and responding, tuning into, well, what does that mean? When they move that way, what is it they're telling me? Or what kind of a cry is that? And responding to them as they communicate that to you. And the third B is breastfeeding. So breastfeeding is going to promote bonding and that closeness in so many ways, because you're having a symbiotic relationship. Your body is actually communicating with your baby's body. It's so incredibly intelligent, the way that your body produces milk specifically for your baby's needs. So for example, in the summer, the consistency of your milk will be more watery, more liquid, like to quench his thirst. And if he's ill, there will be antibodies in the milk produced from your body, because your body can sense what your baby needs. So in that way, there is like a constant communication happening between your body and your baby's body. You're holding your baby close. You're feeding them from your body. So obviously that is going to promote that closeness. And number 4 is baby wearing. So essentially, it's your baby wants to be held, especially in the 4th trimester, in the first 3 months of their life. They just want to be really, really close to you all the time, in the same conditions as when they were in the womb. And so if you're wearing them on your body in a sling or a carrier or a wrap, I would really advise looking into and researching all the different ways of wearing your baby, because there are so many and different ones suit different people. And often it's good to try a few different out, because the first one that you try might not be right, but essentially, that's kind of self-explanatory as well. It's like that closeness. You're holding your baby close to your body. They can, they're next to your heart, and they can feel your heartbeat. They can feel your breathing. They are having that similar experience to in the womb, but with all the external conditions as well. But they're feeling close to you. They're feeling secure. So the 5th B is bedding close to baby. So many attachment parents choose to co-sleep with their baby for a number of reasons. For their baby to feel close and secure. It can make breastfeeding through the night a lot easier. because, you know, you're right there, and a lot of women just learn how to kind of, so I would look into safe co-sleeping, but there's a certain position where the C position, where you kind of, you have your arm around the baby and you just kind of have them close. They can get onto the breast really easily. That's what I'm trying to say. They can breastfeed really easily if you're in a safe co-sleeping environment. And that means that their needs are met straight away. They're not kind of, you know, even I used to be able to just sense when my baby was going to wake up, you know, just from her stirrings, and I would pop her on my breast straight away, and she wouldn't even wake up properly sometimes. And so, you know, there is a continuity of sleep through the night. You know, there isn't the getting up to make bottles, or getting up to get them out of the cot or the basket, and then putting them back, you know, and you're not waking up properly. So yeah, yeah, I would, but there are safe ways to do it. I mean, you should never do it when you've taken alcohol or drugs, and there are certain positions in which to do it and certain ways of sleeping. So definitely, if you're going to consider co-sleeping, I would research that thoroughly. But it is actually, when done safely, it is a really good way to stay close to your baby. Number 6 is balance and boundaries, and these are really, really important when you're attachment parenting, because if you're with your baby 24/7, it can be overwhelming, it can be intense, and so you need to make sure you have balance. You need to make sure that you have enough time for you to get your needs met as well, and to have your boundaries as well with other people around you. Yeah, so that you're feeling okay, you're not burning out and giving too much to the relationship with your baby, and you know, you're getting that balance, you're getting that equilibrium, so that everybody's needs are hopefully getting met. And number 7, the final one, is beware of baby trainers. So I mean, this can be sort of baby gurus. There are many books out there on how to train your baby, how to sleep train them, how to feed them on a schedule. And it's kind of just a warning to kind of maybe be aware of all of that, and maybe just tap into, well, what feels right and what feels natural for you. Even though they might be really popular, these ways of training your baby, and even healthcare professionals might be advising you, or family members might be advising you that this is how you need to do it. Just really feel into, well, what feels right for me, and how do I want to have this connection in this relationship with my baby, and how do I want it to play out? So yeah, they're the 7 B's of baby training, of the 7 B's of attachment parenting. And I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight. I do actually have a free guide, which is called 7 Ways Attachment Parenting Can Help You to Overcome Overwhelm and Bond with Your New Baby. So that's a free giveaway. All you have to do is sign up using the link in the video below.